Accordion granted.
It's the 23rd of May, Rabbi Levitt, Horeb.
Page 45, paragraph 103, few lines in. At the moment which you give yourself up wholly to the tava for any object or any enjoyment, at that moment you declare war on all beings around you, on God and on his law, for dominated by tava, you stop at nothing which is within the range of your powers. And when you reach that limit, you lie fuming at the barrier which still lies across your path between you and the object of your desire. Where ta'ava draws, Torah cannot abide. For where the mind and disposition set themselves up as the directive forces of life, how can there be room for the law which declares to implant the promotion of the will of God and the salvation of the world as a mission of life? Where Tava rules, mitzvahs must give way, for the latter binds you not for your own benefit, but for that of others, and the mishpachat also must give way, since it sets up the rights of others as the limit of your pursuit of wealth. Chok must also give way, since it declares a subordinate creation to be your brother creature, and fixes the law of God as a limit to your caprice and cupidity. Edus testifies in vain to you in the name of humanity and Judaism, since you have feeling for yourself alone and for the lustful brute within you. Nor can avodah make you virtuous, since you come before God only with your unrestrained desires, and you crawl before him or feel resentful against him according to whether he furthers or hinders your desires. Yes, every sin, every crime is only a product of ta'ava. For one and all, they are nothing but a scorning of the divine law for the satisfaction of one's own desires.
Wow.
Therefore beware of ta'ava and all covetous yearnings for objects and enjoyments which you do not possess, and above all for those which God forbids you to pursue. And do not say, it is only my thought and feeling. It is not action. Action will not be absent if you do not master thought and feeling. And before you're aware of it, your uncontrolled desire has robbed you of all your Horeb ornaments, which conferred upon you the dignity of a man and an Israelite. And you are left a naked, lustful, ravenous beast.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So where taiva draws, I guess where taiva exists, where the person is controlled by his tava, his pursuit of his desires and ambitions and pleasures and enjoyments. There's no Torah over there. Torah cannot abide because his impulses are directing his actions and not the Torah. So how can there be room for the law which desires to implant the promotion of the will of Hashem and the salvation of the world as the mission of life? That's not the national anthem of the one who's controlled by his taivas. He's the So of course, this is this is the yeah. I mean, he's talking about to the nth degree. But before you get to the nth degree, there's also a number of degrees before that, and to the degree that a person is controlled by the taiva, so to that degree, the Torah doesn't exist for him. To that degree. Okay. So can you hear me?
Yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, Lou, you want to take over 104?
Against this misuse of taiva, against this longing for enjoyments and objects forbidden by the law of God, particular warning is given by the text which we have quoted, and which not without purpose has picked out among all forbidden enjoyments the objects, those in the possession of others. For in this prohibition, the pursuit of the object is not a sin in itself, but becomes a sin only through the idea of the other personality which is associated with it. And where at the same time desire is stimulated by the actual sight of the ownership and enjoyment, this is the case in which taiva comes most sharply into conflict with the prohibition and is most quick to scorn it.
Okay.
So are we only talking about a taiva for something that's forbidden?
Oh, that's a good question. Um,
I have a taiva for food.
yeah.
And the negative thing about it is that I'm overweight. But I don't see all of these things, I don't find myself to be a lustful, ravenous beast. It doesn't seem to really relate to me.
Well, let's say a person is in the middle of his lunch and he's enjoying his lunch very much. And is there anything wrong with enjoying his lunch? No? Good. You make a bracha after that. Even the Pelioid says that it's important to have food that's tasty to you, because he says like that you'll be moved to make Birkas Hamazon, which with greater fervor in the event that you're making Birkas Hamazon. Some other bracha also, I guess you could say the same thing. It's getting to be time to go and leave and daven mincha and be there on time for mincha. Because if you don't start with the tzibur on time, Shmona Esrei, you don't have the mitzvah of Shmona Esrei with tzibur. Got it?
Right?
So now a person is in a situation.
Rabbi, we can't hear you. You're cracking up.
Well,
Now he's
You're
frozen.
cracking up.
just one more bite. Just maybe mincha. They already started. They already started Shmona Esrei by the time he gets there. So okay, so he davens mincha. He doesn't have tefillah b'tzibur. So what did he do over there? He basically said it's more important for me to take these 2 extra bites than to be on time for mincha. Yeah, yeah, okay, it's not in the same category as Gili Raya Shvichas Damim and Avodah Zarah. Okay, but it happens all the time, and that's just one example.
But let's say we take away the Isser aspect. He planned it out so that he had plenty of time, but nevertheless he ate too much, or he ate food that wasn't appropriate for him. He ate a candy bar when he shouldn't have eaten a candy bar, for example. But he goes to Mincha time. He davens the
Okay,
Corona properly, but he still lusted for that candy bar.
okay. There's a Tostos in Ksubis that says that instead of a person davening for Hashem to give him Torah, Siyata Dishmaya and Torah, he should rather daven that what does it say? I got to take a look at the Tosfos. It's Tosfos in Ksubis, Kuf Yud Aleph. Let's take a look. And Tosfos 112. Ksubis 112.
Ksubis 112. Let me see if I have it.
What are they going to get?
Kesuvos, he's going to get Kesuvos.
Oh. Yeah. I think I was going to get a migraine, I don't know. I just took a pill.
Go 112.
Maybe 1 second, I don't see it here. Oh, maybe it's on the base. I don't remember it being on the base. Oh,
Isn't much in an hour.
okay. What's that?
There's not much of a goofy bet. I'll bet.
Yeah, that's not where it is.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we don't know where it is. Okay. Okay. So let's just try to paraphrase what Tosfos' point is. Tosfos' point is that people say they want Torah. They want Torah. They want mitzvahs. They want ruchnius. So Tosfos says, oh, that's what you want. So how are you going to get it? Go after Torah. Go after ruchnius, right? That's the way to get it if that's what you want, right? Says Tosfos, I'll tell you something. If you really want Torah and you really want ruchnius, and that's what you want, So then you won't let your pursuits of your enjoyments of this world get in the way. Because it's quite possible that if, to the extent that a person is very, very interested in the physical and the material and the pleasure, enjoyment of this world, to that extent, he's less interested in the pursuit of the enjoyments and pleasure of ruchnius, and the focus and goal on ruchnius. That's basically what Tosa says. So, okay, so it didn't cause you to miss mincha. Okay, but it might cause you to not be able to remember where Tosus is. Because that's not your main goal. It's not your main focus. Or maybe it is. 51% it is. Oh yeah, but there's 49% that it's not. Something else is your focus. So that's I'm not talking to anybody except myself. But I'm just relating to you what it is that Tosa says. So that's what now, of course, if a person can engage in physical enjoyment and thank Hashem for it. That's what the Pele Yoetz is telling us. And so the focus, it becomes a means to ruchnius, to benching with greater fervor. Very good. Is that the whole reason why you want to eat this food? So you'll be able to bench better? Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Amevin Yovin. So that's what we say. We say that there are a billion different levels of this, but each person has to do whatever he could do to maximize his focus on spiritual matters, and enochanami some mitzvahs that you have to engage in physicality in order to do the mitzvah, right? Mm-hmm. You have to eat matzah on Leila Seder. Okay, that's maybe different because most people don't enjoy the matzah that they eat because the matzah doesn't taste so good because they don't know how to make the matzah properly. But okay, but there's other activities that are totally a physical activity, seemingly a totally physical activity. And yet the Torah says it's a mitzvah. It's a very, very important mitzvah. So that's the trick to do that physical activity and even have the enjoyment from that physical activity. But the reason that you want the physical activity is to be able to achieve what the purpose of the mitzvah is. Because if it's a mitzvah, it obviously has a spiritual purpose. There's no such thing as a mitzvah that has only a physical, material purpose. There's no such a thing, right? If it's a mitzvah, it's obviously a spiritual endeavor. So there you have it. Okay, all these things need a lot of thinking about, and we hear from the words of Rev Hirsch that he's thought about these things quite a lot. He was a great thinker, and we see that in his words. They really take time to absorb the message that he's saying over here, and the and the fine points that he's bringing out. Okay. So now we go to the grand finale, section 105. And we have 1.5 minutes left. So, whose turn is it now?
I think it's mine. Hopefully I could read quickly.
Okay. Yes.
How then can you guard against unbridled taiva? And how can you attain that high level of character in which tava, cupidity, is changed into ahava, love of the Lord? Only one thing can lead to this, and in it lies all virtue and all happiness. This one thing is to have a proper idea of life. Value your life not according to possessions and enjoyments, but according to good deeds. And again, value your actions only according to their relation to the means which you possess and acquire. It is not how much or how little you have that makes you great or small, but how much or how little you are with what you have, how much or how little you utilize what has been lent to you for action in the service of God. That is it, which makes you great or small. And if with your little, you have fulfilled 3/4 of your duties, while another with his plenty has done only 1/4 of his, even if this 1/4 were incompatibly more than the 3/4 you have done, you are still greater than he. For your whole life is only a task, and your possessions and enjoyments means for performing the task. The provision of the means belongs to God alone, while the performance of the task according to the scope of your means constitutes your only greatness. Certainly, it is part of this task where you have the power, and religion allows to pursue these good things and these things of enjoyment, not, however, as an object in themselves, but as a means of fulfilling the duties imposed by God. Only so will self-sufficiency and contentment, and with them happiness and virtue, be your lot. You will remain serene and good in every position in life, whatever be the extent of your possessions and enjoyments.
Okay, very good.
It's pursuing that same goal, that same theme.
Yeah, which is?
Which is be content with what you have. And that gives
okay.
you the greatness in front of Hashem.
Okay, very good. Yashikoya to everyone.